You're 11-year-old, living your life happily with your mom and dad. You have no worry in the world. But this happiness isn't gonna last long, 'cause world leaders just announced a world war. World War II. Your life turns upside down. Where you once lived happily with your parents, played with your friends at school, has suddenly changed now. You hear the sound of airships and bombing after every few hours. You hide under the table, crying, wanting this to get over. You want that normal, happy life again, but you know that was impossible now. After all the damage done, it was irreversible. Where once you ate to fill your stomach, now your mom have to reluctantly give you less food because now even food is luxury. You eat it just to survive, and you have to go to sleep hungry every day. You spend your every second in fear because your family could be next. You have already lost a lot in this war you don't want your mom and dad to go to. You ask your parents every day, when will this get over? When will this finally stop? Then with a fake smile, they say it would be over soon and everything will go back to normal. But you know it too. They are in as much as despair as you are and have no hope left now. You were outdoors for running an errand when you hear the siren to go to the underground shelters. Your parents had drilled it into you. If you're not home when the siren sounds, go straight to the shelters. Don't wait. Don't look back. They would meet you there. You hurry towards the shelter in the crowd, and then the bombings begin. You cover your ears, waiting for it to get over. After the bombings stop, you look around in the shelter for your parents, but you can't find them. You start panicking. Did they not make it? Are they all right? After the raid, you come out and take a peek, and there is fire everywhere. Everything destroyed. Even your home. You can't see the severed bodies of those who didn't make it to bunkers. It is a horrible sight. The houses, the streets, everything destroyed due to current bombings. After the situation has cooled down, the bodies of victims of bombings and survivors, if any, are searched, and most of the bodies are unidentifiable. You ran toward what used to be your home, your legs moving before your mind could catch up. Every step felt heavier than the last, like the ground itself was trying to pull you down. And there, among the rubble, were two bodies, broken, unrecognizable, covered in dust and blood and ash. You didn't need anyone to tell you who they were. Who else could they be? Your parents. The only people who had ever made you feel safe. The only reason you had kept going. Your chest tightened, your breath caught, and then everything collapsed at once. You fell to the ground beside them, your small hands shaking, your voice breaking into sounds that didn't even feel human anymore. You cried until your throat burned, until your body ached, until there were no tears left, only hollow gasps and silence. In that moment, the world took everything you had left. With no home, no family, and nowhere to go, you were sent away to foster care. You were placed among other children. Some older than you, some younger, and some your age, but there was one thing common between all the kids. They were all traumatized. No one spoke much. Conversations felt dangerous, like hope itself was something that could get you punished. Their eyes were empty, staring at nothing, as if they had already accepted that nothing good was coming anymore. These places were supposed to be safe. That's what they promised. Love, care, protection. None of it was real. These foster homes are completely different. The adults in charge behave rudely with you. They barked orders. Food was rationed so strictly that hunger became a constant ache, a permanent companion. You remembered how your mother used to give you less food so you could survive. And somehow this felt even worse. Here, there was no love behind it, only control. You learned quickly that asking questions was dangerous. Speaking up meant punishment. Crying meant punishment. Sometimes existing was enough to deserve a beating. So you learned to stay quiet, to swallow your words, your tears, yourself. The others suffered the same way. You saw it in the way they flinched when footsteps approached, in how they froze when someone raised their voice. Education is basic and minimum with very poor facilities. Hygiene conditions are very poor. The toilets hardly get cleaned and are so dirty that you don't even want to enter them. There is also a shortage of mattresses, and sometimes you get to sleep on rags with no pillow or blankets. While the new children are brought in daily, and sometimes a child dies when beatings went too far, sometimes from illness due to unsanitary space, sometimes simply from giving up, their bodies failing because their spirits had already gone. Your body too goes frail and weak like others, your body covered with wounds from the beatings. You had lost hope in life. The light faded from your eyes, just like all the others. Hope didn't leave all at once. It faded, like light at sunset. Until one day, it was just gone. You stopped thinking about the future because there was no future to imagine. You stopped remembering your past because remembering hurt too much. All that existed was the present moment, cold, hungry, painful, endless. Some nights, lying on your rags in the darkness, listening to the quiet weeping of the other children, you wished for the bombs to come back. You wished for one to fall directly on this building, to end it all quickly, to finally grant the mercy of release. You wanted to live no more. At 11 years old, you had learned what adults sometimes spend a lifetime trying to forget, that the world could be unbearably cruel, that suffering had no purpose, that sometimes there was no hope, no rescue, no redemption, just survival.